Guys, I'm trying to check and see if I am live and audible and visible. Oh yes, I am live and visible. Hi everybody. Hello. Welcome to this session. My name is Abhilasha and I'll be taking you through some stuff today. I hope it will be useful to you. But before I begin, let me quickly check if I am audible and visible. Right? So let's do that audio visible check. Am I audible? And am I visible? Are you able to see me? Give me a quick yes or no so that we know whether I'm audible or visible. And am I visible? Yes. Okay, I am. I can see myself in my phone. And so that means very good. Now, all of you who are here, whether you see it now or you see it later, please remember to share this session with your friends. Those who are preparing for CAT we may just find it useful. Also remember to hit the like button. Oh my goodness, I love your likes. So please hit the like button. The more you hit the like button, the more the algorithm sort of favors us. So you know that, right? And also remember to subscribe, because if you haven't subscribed, then you will not be able to participate in the chat. The chat is subscribers only mode. So therefore, please make sure that you're subscribing so that we are able to, discuss passages and discuss all of this. And I will give you some tips and tricks about reading like a CAT 99 plus percentiler. Well, what is a CAT 99 plus percentiler? That's a person who has done around 3 RCs in CAT. So for someone to be able to, let's get the maths right here, okay? And then we'll take it forward from there. So for anyone to get a 99 percentile or a 99 plus percentile, okay, has to be able to do three reading comprehension passages. Okay. Now, if you're doing 3 reading comprehension passages, that means you will end up reading some 1500 words here. And then the questions, because there are 8, 3 4s are 12 questions with each at least 150 words. So that's another 1800 words. I'm saying, yeah, 1800 words. So you end up reading some 3300 words, right? And this is an approximation in the RCs. Okay. Hi, Yasmin. How are you? So when you read some 3,000 words, your reading speed, and remember you're doing this within that 40 minutes. So you're taking around 25 minutes to do this, these 3 passages, right? The other time you will spend on VA. So 3,300 words to be done in some 25 minutes. So that means I'm doing some, now my maths is very bad, huh? So I'm like calculating. Can someone tell me what 3,300 divided by 25 will be like? Okay, let me just go to my calculator and do this. I know, you will laugh at me. 3,300 words divided by 25 is around 132 words per minute. Please understand, but this is also about thinking. So not just reading. So when you think of comprehension, you will end up doing something like 200 words per minute. Okay, that is the reading speed that we are expecting minimum. And if you want to do better at the exam, you should up your reading speed to some 250 words. With a 250 word per minute reading speed, you will be able to complete this entire set in, let's say, 20 minutes or so. Okay. So once you've read it, you comprehend, you answer the questions. So you will be able to complete these 3 passages within that 25-minute time zone. So therefore, number 1, statistically, if you want to be a CAT 99 plus percentiler, your reading speed has to be a minimum of 250 words. Okay. So I'm saying I'll erase all of this stuff and then I will write this. So reading speed for CAT should be something around 250 words per minute. When I say reading speed, I'm saying reading plus comprehending. I'm not just saying reading. Okay, please understand that. So you need to study and you need to be able to read at some 250 words per minute. Okay, so that's number 1 fact. You also need to be able to comprehend at that speed. So reading plus comprehension at 250 words per minute should mean you will be able to do 3 RCs very, very well. Okay. So that is the target that we have, that we want to do 3 RCs at 250 words per minute, and we should be able to get them all right. So that's number one. So that is, see, understand that statistically, this is what you are aiming at, or quantitatively. When you bring something to a number, no, it becomes easier. We start realizing, okay, this is where I am at, and this is where I need to reach. Okay. So currently, if you are at 100 words, 200 words, you need to up your reading speed. You need to take it to CAT level, and then only you will be able to, do very well in your exam. Okay. So that's my first thought, guys. I don't know how many of you are here. If you are here, do give me a yes or no. I already know Yasmin is there. All right. So first thoughts, that for reading comprehension, if you want to read like a CAT 99 plus percentiler, you need to be able to read at 250 words minimum. That's your minimum reading speed. Okay. Okay. So I have given you this. Now let us get started and let's talk about what all you can do while you're reading, what all you can keep in mind while you're reading to improve your reading speed. Okay. So let's take a look. Number one, and these are just short tips and tricks which you can keep, which you use. All right. Don't read to answer. Your first thing is that you must read to understand. So it's never about answering questions. It's always about understanding. So our target is comprehension. Our target is not answering the questions. Once you have comprehended the passage, answering will happen very easily. Okay. So remember, the top scorers don't rush to questions. You first read the passage. Try and grasp what is the author trying to tell you. What is the tone of the passage and what is the structure of the passage. Now, please understand that argument essentially means what is the author trying to tell you, what is the main idea of the passage. So first we will try and identify what is the main idea. Then we'll try to see if the author is positive about that, negative about that, or neutral about that. So we'll try and check what is his tone. And we'll try and see how has he written this. Is he writing the passage in an expository manner? When I say expository, I'm talking about description. Is he writing the passage in an analytical manner? Is he trying to analyze something? Or is he trying to be argumentative? Is he trying to put forward the pros and cons? Or no, is he trying to persuade you to his perspective? So what is the structure of the passage? In the three of these, what is he trying to do? Is he trying to bring you over to his perspective? Is he just trying to make you see both the sides? Or is he just describing something? So the good readers will always, always, always focus on these three things. They will always try to think what is the author trying to say and why. Okay, this is very important, guys. When you or I, when I read a passage, my thought is always to see what is the main point. What's he trying to say? What is his message? Once I've understood the message, then I look at what is he being positive or negative about that. Now, how do I spot this? We've already discussed all of this in class, but I'm going to take you through this. So in order to spot the author's argument or his main point, let me write that. If you're trying to see what is the main point of the passage, you always look at the first line of the passage and the last line of the passage. These are two very good places where the author says what he wants to tell you. Okay, this is where you will find it. So always, always, always try and read the first and the last lines very, very carefully. These will be keys. Then try and find out what is the tone of the passage. For the tone, you look for the adjectives and adverbs. And you look at the phrases. Are the phrases, the repeated phrases, are they positive, negative, or whatever? And number three, when you're looking at the structure. So is the author describing something? If he is describing something, look at the passage, read it, and then see, okay, what is he doing? Is he describing? Then it is expository. If he does a comparison or he does a contrast, either he is doing an analysis. If he is trying to persuade you that his idea is right, then that is an argumentative passage. Okay. So when you're reading the passage, okay, you pay attention to these three things and try and see what is he doing. Okay, once you have understood this, you will be able to identify what the author is trying to say and why. So that's number one, guys. Try to understand what is the author trying to tell you in the passage. Okay. Second, prioritize comprehension over speed. Don't be in a hurry to read. It's not about just reading. It is about comprehension. Like I said, it's not about reading speed. It is about reading comprehension. So reading comprehension is more important than reading speed. So focus on comprehending. When you're reading, when you start reading, when you've just started out, for example, people are just starting out, don't worry about how fast you are. Just try to understand and try to finish reading the passage, but not quickly. So read the passage. That's our goal. Understand it. That's the more important goal. And slowly, when your comprehension will improve, your speed will also improve. Now, also understand the role of vocabulary in this comprehension is very high. If your vocabulary is strong, you will be able to do this very well. If your vocabulary is weak, you will find it difficult to understand things, and therefore comprehension will suffer. So vocabulary has to be very, very strong. And that will help you to improve your comprehension also. Okay. When comprehension will improve, the speed will automatically come. Please understand, all of this will happen with the golden word, practice. The more you practice, the better you will be. So please make sure you're practicing. Okay. Number 3, you read actively and not passively. Okay. Be an active. Oh my God, my pen always runs away. Be an active reader, not a passive reader. A passive reader just reads. An active reader will ask questions. What's the main point? Why is the author talking about something? Is he supporting? Is he opposing? How is this para connected to the previous one? Why has he given an example? Right? See, pay attention. Why has he named some person? Why has he given a date? Why has he given some other data? Look for these. Why? These will be important. These actually end up becoming question pockets. So you ask. Okay, engage with the passage. Sometimes you can highlight mentally or you can jot down quick notes. Even in CAT, you're able to select and drag the cursor. So the dragging of the cursor helps you to highlight certain portions of the text. Or else you can use the scratch paper to write it down. Or you can highlight mentally also. Sometimes you'll be able to spot these things. But also if you're active reading, you will be able to see what is happening in the passage. Always ask what was in the first paragraph, what was in the second paragraph, what was in the third paragraph. Pay attention to these things. Okay. These things are very important, guys. Every time you're reading, you must engage. So you ask yourself questions like, so every para identify the topic. What is the topic here? What are the details that he has given? Right? What are the examples that he is talking about? Pay attention to these. How is this example connected to the other example? Right? So look for these things. Pay attention. You will find yourself to be a better reader. Okay, the next thing, and this is very important, don't assume. Don't think you know. Whatever is written in the text, please only infer that. This is very important. Whatever is written, please infer from there. Do not assume anything. Remember, a CAT topper will never rely on general knowledge. What you know is not important. What is given there in the passage and what is implied, that is all you know. Any passage that is very close to your heart, we tend to interpret it in our own way. Don't do that. So avoid all emotional or biased interpretation when you're reading. So therefore, what happens is when you do eclectic reading, right, and not just reading from your passage, you become better readers. Eclectic reading means you read from science one day you read from humanities, one day you read from social science. Okay, and within these also, one day you read, let's say, physics, one day you read, let's say, chemistry. One day you read some other science, okay? Similarly, in humanities, one day you read literature, one day you read, culture, one day you read art, one day you read something else. Similarly, in social studies, one day you do geography, one day you do history, one day you do anthropology. Every day, read something different. What will happen is you will become comfortable reading varied material. So all the bias in your, reading, I like this, I don't like this, I understand this, I don't understand this, I have more to add to this, all of that will go away. So avoid all emotional or biased interpretation. That's very important. Okay. Now, this is also very important that you recognize common structures in reading comprehension. How a passage is written. Okay. The logical structure of the passage is very important because it helps you understand the passage. So how do you do this? So try to recognize the common structures. What are the common structures we know? What are the things that you will find? So sometimes you will have an introduction which will be followed by an expansion of that, which will have some evidence and then some conclusion. So most of the passages will follow this flow of thought. So they start with an intro. Okay. So something, paintings in China or artwork in China can have two types of copies. Introduction. Then you give the detail of whatever. So the author will give you the details. And to prove that, he will give you supporting evidence, proof. So he will bring in maybe examples, maybe he will give you, some sort of proof. And then finally, he will lead you to a conclusion. Okay. So this is one common structure. A lot of times contrasts are given, examples are given, comparisons are given, cause effect clues are given. They help you to understand the passage. What is the author saying? Why is he connecting something with another thing? You will start understanding all of this from these things. Then also you train your brain to spot these structures. The minute you see a but or a yet or a however, you should know that if the first thought was whatever was the first thought, that's no longer important. The second thought is now important, the one that is after the but yet however. If you see, let's say either or you see neither nor, you know there is a parallel structure that is happening. You see not just, these are parallel structures. Okay. There can be comparisons, contrasts. You look for these clues. Something cause something, led by, leads to. All of these say there is a causal relationship. So try and spot these. These will help because the minute you start understanding how to spot these structures, you will start doing this better. Okay, so you must recognize common structures in reading comprehension. That's very important. Then sixth, and this is very important, learn to eliminate options. So it's not just reading, it's also solving. So when you're solving, you use the process of elimination. And we've spoken about this in class and otherwise also. Beast is my favorite way of eliminating options, right? And what is beast? So you look at options that are broad or narrow. Too broad, something that's very universal. So eliminate that. Or something that is from one line. Okay. From one statement of the passage. Eliminate that also. Anything that is extreme uses words like all, always, no, none, never, will, must, and so on. Eliminate. Anything that's alien, that means it's not mentioned in the passage. Eliminate that. Passage is talking about metaphysics and option is talking about physics. Eliminate. Sidetrack. So passage is talking about metaphysics, but how it has been formed. And the option is talking about, let's say, the characteristics. Sidetrack, something that is not relevant. Eliminate that also if it is not relevant to your answer. The author is positive. The option is negative. The author is excited. The option is despondent. Look for the tone mismatch. If there is a tone mismatch, eliminate. Anything that's factually incorrect based on the passage. So it contradicts something that is mentioned in the passage. Eliminate that. So these options can be eliminated. Once you've eliminated, you will probably come to one answer or maybe at max two answers. So that will help, right? So pay attention to these things and try and solve, your reading comprehension questions like this. Use this process of elimination. Now, this is something that I was telling you earlier also, right? You read from a wide range of topics. CAT RCs will come from many places. And I have found this over my 25 years of CAT experience, not 25 years, but yeah, definitely 15, 16 years of CAT experience. The passages come from many topics. They can come from science, philosophy, economics, art, psychology, geography, history. History is something that they love. They love reviews, book reviews. I've seen double book reviews. They've come from anthropology. They've come from life sciences. They've come from all passages. They also come from current affairs. Okay, they come from pop culture. So you have articles coming from something that's very popular right now is climate change. Yeah. Another thing that's very popular is advent of AI. So there are lots of articles that are coming from these. So when we start reading, we need to be comfortable with all of these topics. It's not that we should be caught unawares. So number one, you must read from a diverse range of topics. What I had said earlier, eclectic reading, that must happen. Number two, for each one of these subject areas, try and improve your technical vocabulary. Okay, vocabulary of these subjects. For example, philosophy. You could just go through some 50, 40, just Google. You go to Wikipedia, just go to Google and say, give me 50 important words from philosophy. It'll give you those words. It'll also give you meanings. Go through those words 4 or 5 times. When you go through those words, you will remember them. Words like metaphysics, ontology, epistemology. These words appear difficult, but when you have read them 3 or 4 times, they become easy. And then when you get them in a passage, then it becomes very, very easy. So learn the vocabulary of different subjects. Don't just read words. So vocabulary of different subjects. This is very important. We must use this. We'll be able to take good advantage of that. So do diverse reading. That's number one. And do vocabulary of different subject areas. This will really help improve your reading comprehension. Okay. Also, because we have so many different sources for passages, we must read from different places. So where all can you read from? You can read from so many different places. But popular ones, again, try and read places that the articles are coming from. So where are the CAT articles coming from? You will get them from Aeon. You may get them from Hindu. The Economist is again something that's very, very popular. Okay. You may get articles from Guardian. Guardian US and UK both are popular. Okay. You may get articles from BBC. Okay. You may get articles from other sources also. For example, New York Times. You get articles from Smithsonian. That's a magazine. Okay. Sometimes you get articles from Harvard Business Review. You also get articles from philosophy, from encyclopedia. So Encyclopedia of Geography. There were a couple of articles over the past few years. So Geography Encyclopedia. Stanford Philosophy is something that is very popular. Stanford Philosophy. Lovely articles there for anyone who has a desire to read. Then science.com. Lovely articles. Scientific American. Again, that's a place that many articles are coming from. Scientific American. Then a lot of articles now are coming from research papers. So right in the beginning of the research paper, an abstract is given. Huh? So what is happening is a lot of the summary questions, parajumbles, odd sentence, sentence placement, all of that are coming from these abstracts from research papers. So you can start reading some research papers also. Now they can come from JSTOR. Just go to jstor.org. You will find many research papers. So use that. You could also find other sources. There are many sources. Go to Stanford, they have. Go to Harvard, they have. All top universities have a lot of research papers because they're doing a lot of research work. So read those abstracts. You don't have to read the entire paper. If you just keep reading the abstract, you get comfortable. See, I'm not asking you to read all of this so that you get, you will get exactly that passage. But what will happen is you start getting comfortable with their style of writing. The research paper abstracts are very dry. They're about 10 lines, 12 lines. They're very dry. They're very factual. So you get used to reading that sort of factual stuff. Okay. The newspapers are very newsy, analytical, chatty. Then these Stanford philosophy, geography encyclopedia, they give you a lot of detail. Science.com, Scientific American, they give you a lot of detail and interesting stuff. So when you start reading all of this, what happens is you build comfort in reading. And when you build that comfort in reading, you will be able to read at a better pace. See, I'm saying this for somebody who's just started out reading. If you want to read like a 99 percentiler, you have to build that comfort. You must be comfortable. If you're not, you will not be able to read. So therefore now, okay, I'm going to give you one very good place where you can read. So on My Zone in Career Launcher, you will have a place called the Reading Zone. In the Reading Zone, we have a lot of articles for you guys, which are very lovely and they're collected from all of these sources. So all you need to do is just go to these sources and pull out your articles. Just go ahead and read. Enjoy. Like I said, build comfort with diverse vocabulary and complex ideas. That is why I said, and now I'll tell you something. Do read all the different types of philosophy. So the isms, the logies, okay? Get comfortable with these. All the different types of isms, nihilism, whatever. Get comfortable with different types of economic ideas. Okay? Get comfortable with these. You read through them a couple of times, you start getting familiar. Read all of this. Read the different types of isms. What isms are there? Right? Read. You will find this very helpful. So make sure that you do vocabulary from philosophy. Okay. Make sure you do vocabulary from psychology. Okay. Make sure you do some vocabulary from anthropology and some from sociology and some from economics. These are the tricky ones. So if you are able to do these vocabulary, these words from these subjects, you will always fare better. They are very complicated ideas. So then you will find it easier to solve, read, understand. The minute your understanding of a concept becomes easier, you will find it comfortable. Okay? So I hope you've got that. With this, I'm at the end of my session, guys. I hope just like me, you will be able to crack a 99.99 percentile. And do come and join me next week, same time, same place. 8:30 is the time for our session. Let me write it here. Every Monday, 8:30 p.m., we talk about different things related to CAT. Okay, this is all CAT related. Do come and join. And I'll share some of my experiences with CAT. I have cracked the 99.99 percentile several times. And therefore, yeah, good person to help you. All right, do join me for the next week. Next session, we'll have one more topic under consideration. Remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining in. See you next Monday. Adios, my amigos. Hasta la vista. Oh, yes, Rogue, I will answer your question. So you're so sorry. That's okay. You have 84% in CAT and 21 in my CAT. No negatives. Humanities freshers. You might. You might. Okay. You might, Rogue. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you next week. Please make sure if you haven't viewed the session, rewind and view it. Okay. Bye-bye. See you.